Today, I'm gonna explain a 2021 American science fiction, an action movie called Outside the Wire. In 2036, a civil war between Russian insurgents, led by a criminal warlord called Viktor Koval, and local resistances in Ukraine erupted. US troops are stationed as peacekeepers on this lawless new frontier. On their first mission, American soldiers are ambushed by insurgents while aided by robotic soldiers known as GUM. They are outnumbered, cornered, and the GUMPs are easily destroyed. While the field soldiers are attempting to flee, Lieutenant Harp, a drone pilot, notices an unknown vehicle approaching the soldiers and reports it to Miller. Seeing it as a threat, he requests permission to launch a missile, but Miller refuses because 2 of his men are still trapped. Harp then requests that his partner, Bale, confirm the airstrike with Captain Brydon, but this request is also denied. Harp, on the other hand, defies his superiors and launches the missile alone at the vehicle. As a result, 2 of Miller's men cannot be saved, which enrages Miller despite the fact that he saves the other 38 soldiers. He is sent to Camp Nathaniel, a US military base in Ukraine, for disobeying a direct order. When Harp arrives, Colonel Eckhart greets him and reminds him that if he survives the mission, he will be returned to the Air Force, but if he dies, his story will serve as a warning to other pilots not to disobey and break the rules. He then finds himself in a building where GUMPs are being charged. Captain Leo, Harp's superior in Camp Nathaniel, finally meets him. Harp's outstanding military record is revealed, as is Harp's intention to marry soon. While preparing, instructing him to assist the captain in delivering vaccines to a clinic where there is a cholera outbreak. After signing the agreement, Leo tells a story about Viktor Koval, the man responsible for a bomb in Ukraine that killed over 25,000 people. He goes on to say that Viktor intends to travel to Systema Perimeter, where Russia's nuclear bomb is stored, and use it to kill a large number of people. As a result, Leo gives the pilot a new mission to find Viktor. Harp is taken aback by the fact that Captain Leo is an android super soldier. Before leaving, the captain explains that he chose Harp on purpose because he believes the boy can think outside the box. Harp is confronted by Miller and his men, who are punishing him for killing 2 of his soldiers earlier. But this does not last long as the captain arrives and they depart to the clinic. Harp shows his girl's picture to his superior on the way, and it turns out that the robot soldier still has a sense of humor. Their journey is hampered when they discover that an air truck has been hit and has blocked the road. The civilians are fed up with the army and pelted with objects. When one of them collides with the GUM, it instantly shoots the thrower. The situation becomes tense, but Leo is able to calm the civilians down after negotiating with their leader. Unfortunately, the army is ambushed by Viktor's men and they engage in a gunfight. The insurgents are prepared as they can eliminate the GUMPs easily. As a result, Leo and Harp must travel on foot to deliver the vaccines, while Miller and his soldiers remain behind to keep Viktor's men at bay. On their way, Leo informs Harp that the Pentagon designed his face in that manner because it conveys neutrality, which calms people. They arrive at the refugee camp and proceed straight to the clinic. A sniper sent by Viktor attempts to assassinate Leo and Harp while handing over the vaccines to the doctor, but misses and hits the nurse and doctor instead. The captain one-shots the sniper and interrogates him, forcing him to reveal Viktor's location, but he refuses and is tortured by the locals. Harp questions Leo's decision not to report the situation to the base, but Leo claims they don't have enough time and continue their hunt for Viktor. Leo explains in the truck that he has the ability to break rules in certain circumstances, allowing him to act on his own accord. They then meet Sofia, a resistance leader who informs Leo of highly classified access codes to launch nuclear missiles hidden nearby. They realize Viktor is after the codes and that they must stop him. Sofia instructs them to find an arm dealer who knows where the codes are hidden. Before they leave, the men purchase several weapons from her, claiming that the proceeds will go to the orphanage. Sofia leads them to the market, where they find Ashlak. His men attempt to attack Leo, but he easily defeats them. The arm dealer tries to flee, but is pursued and eventually apprehended by Leo. Leo immediately assigns Harp a mission. Sofia assassinates the arm dealer for being a traitor. Upon arrival, the captain instructs Harp to remove a tracker from his body in order to avoid detection by the Russians. They rush into the bank, believing Viktor is inside, and Leo instructs Harp to call Eckhart. Following that, Leo engages in a gunfight with Viktor's men, while Harp attempts to assist the hostages in escaping. A killer robot appears a few moments later and attempts to murder Leo. They successfully destroy the robot as a result of their collaboration. Leo keeps looking for Viktor and the code, while Harp finally calls Eckhart for assistance. The hostages are brought out by the rookie. He is perplexed, however, when he discovers that Eckhart sends GUMPs instead of human soldiers. Soon after, the Russians emerge from the bank, threatening to kill the hostages. A Gump then shoots one of them, resulting in a gunfight. Harp tries to protect the remaining hostages by transporting them to a safer location. Harp calls the colonel back, only to discover that he is sending a drone and intends to destroy the entire facility with a missile. On the other side, Leo notices a man attempting to flee after stealing the codes. He shoots him, but the insurgent manages to flee. Leo eventually captures him and retrieves the code after a long chase. Unfortunately, the man in question is not Victor. Back to Harp, the missile is launched, completely destroying the bank. At this point, Eckhart believes that the missile has killed both Leo and Victor. The men reassemble and drive away from there. Harp is suspicious of Leo's true motives and wonders what he's up to as they travel. The captain then reveals that he has been manipulating Harp all along, forcing him to make bad decisions because the android backup system allows him to forgo the need for human authority if the person is making bad decisions. As a result, Harp is no longer able to give him commands. He then knocks Harp out and abandons him on the side of the road, where he is picked up by Sophia's men. Leo goes to meet with Victor, revealing that they have been working together all along. Victor refuses to reveal the location of the perimeter, where the nuclear missile is stored, and Leo is forced to kill him. He kills all of Victor's men and eventually impales him to death. He then obtains the location and immediately travels there. Sophia, on the other hand, reveals the US's hidden intentions in the peacekeeping mission to Harp. A pilot finally realizes that Leo intends to launch the missile against the United States. Harp rushes back to the base after Sophia releases him. He then tells Eckhart and Miller everything he knows about Leo, telling them that he is still alive and on his way to the missile site. They believe him, and Harp immediately summons Bale to find Leo. She locates him, but he is in disputed territory near the Russian border, where the colonel cannot deploy an army. Harp then offers himself to go after him alone. Before he departs, Miller gives him a weapon that is effective against Leo. He eventually arrives at the silo where the bomb is kept and sneaks in while Leo is setting up the device and installs it to the missile. Harp arrives at the room but unfortunately is spotted by Leo, who strangles him until he falls unconscious. Leo continues the installation, and the countdown begins. Harp awakens and ruthlessly shoots his captain with the given weapon until he falls down. It manages to break Leo's body. The android finally reveals his true plan, stating that he intends to attack America in order to bring the AI or cyborg program that created him to a halt. He intends to do so in order to keep the country from fighting more destructive wars in the future, because robot soldiers like Gumps are the face of never-ending war. Harp then reports back to the base and gives the go-ahead to launch the airstrike. The silo and nuclear missile are completely destroyed, but Harp manages to escape and make his way back to base. Eckhart will send him back to the Air Force at the end of the film and tell him that he is a hero. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.